All right. Thank you all very much. I just have something for you that's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes of your time. The title of this piece is called Breaking Open the Plans We Made, and I got that from a song I know. And it's dedicated to Colby's father, who's here with us this evening. At the International Bar this past summer, I remember putting on my friend David's glasses in the backyard, and I could see the individual leaves on the trees growing up around the apartment building. And that was the time when the old guy with gray hair sat across from us at another table, smoking, and he said to me and David that he wanted to cut us or kill us or something. We were totally freaked out, and later this turned out to be Jack. Jack, whose boyfriend got pulled back to Ohio for rehab in the middle of the night. Jack, who went to the Vatican and couldn't find any toilet paper. Jack, who a few weeks ago spoke to me and Kim about his mother, randomly, and how she died. How he went to the hospital in Brooklyn to see her, how she couldn't talk, and she passed him a note that said, Happy New Year. And when Jack said this, his knees broke a little bit, he fell a little, and I felt my mouth pull down like a frown. And he turned one of those hard, glassy eyes back on me and Kim and said, Your parents. As if to say, call them, or as if to say, tell them. We were all in the rain, sitting under the backyard door cover. Jack, who emailed me later about Bob Dylan when I was in Saratoga this past August, about to go see Dylan with my friend Mike, when we saw the big golden eye on stage behind him, he was chanting, how does it feel to be on your own? The voices on the street, a woman training her dogs to sit at intersections, a girl walking past talking about baby velociraptors, passing a bus stop with the words, last one to die, turn out the light, written in black Sharpie on the bus stop from Children of Men, which came this week on Netflix, which I love and John doesn't. But that led to David talking about Cormac McCarthy's The Road, a guy in some basement, I didn't read it, his leg's gone. The website's predicting an earthquake in California and Seattle this week. My uncle turning off the gas in 1993 during the last big one, his Malibu house. I visited once a few years later at 15, 1995, obsessed with Neil Young's Harvest. Old man, look at my life, 24 and there's so much more. And Enya, because at 15 I wanted to feel 8 again. Lying in the top bunk back in Raleigh with Alyssa, my sister, in the summer, the windows open, humid, my mom laying beside her after our short prayers about the moon. Now I lay me down to sleep. My mom used to play Enya at night, and that record got me to that feeling I had as a kid, that my life was precious, that somehow as a kid I was already old. And this being New York, I imagine sometimes that I'm holding my breath on the N train as it shoots under the East River, reading in the Times what an explosion would do. I'm sorry, this is where my mind goes. I know no one likes to talk about it, either because it's wrong to be afraid because they want to use your fear, or wrong to talk about it because what can you do? People always say in the local news, you've got to live your life as if that's the answer. What can you do? Live your life, but that isn't the point. The problem of death, the problem of saying it, the random deaths in the city. The year I moved here, I saved articles about that actress who got shot on the Lower East Side. She stood up to her mugger. She was so bold, she said, what are you going to do? And this kid shot her. I saved the articles because of her courage that I couldn't understand, and because, of course, she was beautiful in the pictures they printed of her. So in light of all this, I feel an urgency from my fear to slip into someone's arms or find your eyes across the table over beer, to give words to that big empty feeling of the open future, to stick together the 1,000 pieces of the day into a coherent story, to tell you that story, to hear your story, the little Seinfeld moments. Are you kidding? Really? No way. Okie dokie. Word. These living clips of our rushed reactions, the 5 senses of reality we can only feel now, not the 2-dimensional space captured in digital photos or digital videos or anything by digital cameras. All that those images and those recordings can't say. Yes, they can spit into your heart and remind you of someone's look. They can slow down time and stop it. Like when characters look at pictures in movies, the pictures that always come out of the shoe boxes under the bed. There's a scene like this I just saw in Rachel Gets Married, and I thought to myself, I have an old wine box in the crawl space in my father's new house in Medina, Ohio, where I have all those pictures and how much I love the sentiment of that. But you know, the way those pictures pinch your throat, this is our life now, right now. The breath caught in your voice, the zagging of your vision, the sweat down your back, a scratch on your thigh, the sudden flashes of memory, the sweet fantasies that pop in your head, what you want to do, what you can't do, the pinnacles of guilt that leak out, snaps of conversations that return, this accumulation of images that can appear suddenly blown into the room, some living thing you pass on the street, a pigeon, some paper, these countless dumb moments that fly away. I saw on the urinal wall at the Brooklyn Music Hall someone had written, what are you looking here for? The joke's in your hands. But seriously, I took this poem's title, Breaking Open the Plans We Made, from one of John's songs, Reason, because every time I hear it, It reminds me I've spent my whole life making plans in order to control my fears, but that I can't control shit, and that my plans need to break open, that to change your life, it can feel like breaking your life.